You did it. You failed.
You suck! Worst dungeon master ever!
You tried your best. You gave it your all.
I haven't played in a game this bad since, well, high school.
But your D&D game fell apart, just like you feared it would.
Yeah, I'm done here. Nice playing with you.
Your players have left, and you're all alone.
I'm taking my dice elsewhere. Yeah, not gonna play here anymore. We're gonna go play at a different table now. Thank you very much. Yeah.
And you wonder to yourself, as the Dungeon Master, what do I do now that my D&D game has fallen apart?
I cast Fireball.
If you're a Dungeon Master whose campaign has fallen apart, perhaps even for the umpteenth time, you're in the right place. Today I'm going over my 12-step program for Dungeon Masters recovering from epic campaign failure. My team and I have been perfecting this program for the last 47 years, and we're confident that if you follow all 12 steps, you'll be running awesome D&D games once again in no time. Step number 1. Admit that you failed. Humility. Humility as the Dungeon Master is the very first thing you need. You are not always right. Your crap is not gold. You, like every other human being, make mistakes, and you have room to grow and improve at your craft. Admitting that you're not perfect and that you can get better as a Dungeon Master is a mandatory first step on the path to campaign recovery. Oh. Whoops. Step number 2, believe that you can become a better Dungeon Master. Look, I know how you feel. Your game just fell apart. You feel crappy, like a failure. Because, well, you did fail. Now, it probably wasn't 100% your fault. In fact, I guarantee it wasn't. D&D is a social group game, and all players and the Dungeon Masters share responsibility for the game's success or failure. But you did have a part in that, and that's okay. And right now, what you need to do is believe that you can get better, because everyone fails. Anyone who does anything eventually fails to some degree or another, but those who succeed are those who get back up and try again. And again and again as needed. The fact is that being a good Dungeon Master is a skill that you can learn through resources that are freely available on the internet and that you can practice and hone over time. But you need to believe that there is a path forward first. Otherwise, weeds and overgrowth will forever impede your DM journey. By the way, did you know that one of the very best ways to improve your D&D game and reduce your prep time is with Lair magazine? It's a monthly publication full of 100% 5th edition compatible Dungeon Master resources. 5e adventures, maps ready to use on virtual tabletops, puzzles, traps, new monsters, magic items. Lair magazine has it all. Become a DM Lair patron today at the link below and get a new issue of Lair magazine every month. And get loads of bonus content such as extra adventures, map packs, and more. Step number 3, decide to take control over your self-improvement. Having hope in the future is worthless if you don't take action. Okay, you've admitted that you failed. You believe that you can get better. That's great, but if you do nothing, nothing will change. You need to commit to owning the actions you will take to become a better Dungeon Master. This is not a passive process. You must take control. What? It's a cat shirt. It's adorable. How can this possibly be offensive or inappropriate? Step number 4, take inventory over your strengths and weaknesses. Get out your notebook, open up Word or OneNote, and make 2 lists. First, what you think you're good at as a game master. And second, what you think you're bad at as a game master. And don't hold back. Be honest with yourself. No one is going to see this list. There is no step that involves sharing this list with anyone. This is for you to establish a baseline of game master self-awareness that will help you run better games in the future. By the way, if you're enjoying these 12 steps so far and haven't been offended by my apparently insensitive apparel choices, give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment for the algorithm down below. Let my editor Zack know that my t-shirts are not offensive. Step number 5. Take the steps necessary to grow in your weaknesses and improve your strengths. This is what you need to commit to doing, doubling down on your strengths and shoring up your weaknesses. Notice my wording there. It's very important. You do not need to turn your weaknesses into strengths. Everyone has weaknesses, and many times we are better off playing to our strengths instead of trying to turn weaknesses into strengths. So, focus on shoring up your weaknesses. That is, correcting them just enough so that they are not detrimental to your game. You don't have to become master of your weaknesses. You just need to improve them enough so that they don't cause your campaign to fail again. And then put 80% of your effort into improving your strengths, because those are the things that you can get really good at and that will take your game to the next level. And another huge point here, you are you. You are not Matt Mercer, you are not Brendan Lee Mulligan, and you don't have to be. Commit to being the game master that you were meant to be. Stop holding yourself to unrealistic expectations that only make you feel worse. Your players need you as their game master, not some mystical super game master out there. Step number 6. Admit to yourself the mistakes you made in your previous campaigns. Make another list. What are the mistakes you made that caused your previous games to fall apart? Did you allow your games to fall into this scheduling spiral of death? Did you not take action to stop player drama and conflict that tore the campaign apart? Did you not prepare enough for your games? Whatever, make that list. Step number 7, be ready to take action to correct those mistakes. Prepare your mind, get ready mentally, because remember what we said before about action being a required step to campaign recovery? You will need to take action to make sure that you don't make all those same mistakes all over again and log yet another campaign in the annals of failed D&D campaigns. Step number 8, make a list of ways you can avoid those mistakes in the future. But don't just make the list. You need to actually do those things. Don't make the same mistakes that you made before, or at least try not to. I am well aware of the human condition. Not only are we not perfect, but we have a strong tendency to do the same stupid things over and over again. The key here is to know what the mistakes were, know how you can avoid them, and then strive to do so. Knowledge in action is power. Step number 9, contact your former players unless you don't want to play with them again. Now it's time to get back on the horse, or pony, or elephant, or dinosaur, or whatever mount your D&D players typically use, and start up your game again. Send your players that email, see if they want to play again, and be open with them, admit to your failings, and tell them that you're committed to improving the game the next time around. Of course, this is also the time to not invite back any problem players that had key roles in making the game fall apart the first time, or the second time, or the third time, unless of course they have likewise committed to improving as players and correcting their mistakes. But be sure about that. Be very, very sure about that. And be ready to remove them from the game if it proves not to be the case. And if you need to find replacement players or entirely new players, do just that. My Discord server has a pickup games channel where lots of game masters and players find each other and start games. I would start there. Of course, there's a link to my Discord down below. Step number 10, continue to take personal inventory and correct course as needed. Your Dungeon Master improvement journey did not end the day your new campaign began. You still need to be aware of your weaknesses and focus on shoring them up. You need to continue to double down on your strengths. You need to avoid the mistakes that caused your previous campaigns to fail. Don't lose sight of these things. Don't become complacent, or campaign failure might sneak right back up on you. Step number 11, seek connection with a broader Dungeon Master community who can help you. Don't walk this path alone. Seek out other game masters who are committed to improving and helping others improve, and become a part of that community. For instance, over the last few years on my Discord, I've been growing an accepting and welcoming game master community dedicated to helping each other in our games. No one will swear at you, no one will belittle you, and there are lots of amazing game masters there, more than willing to help you out with your games. Step number 12, carry the message of these 12 steps to other failed Dungeon Masters. Spread the message of hope. Subscribe and share this video with your friends. Click on the screen now to binge on another fine DM Lair video, or to become a DM Lair patron and get an issue of Lair magazine every month. And until next time, let's play D&D.